Stop looking. Prepare for financial changes. The future is in making money. Hello. Greetings, I am Husa Mori. Greetings from the Forge of Fate. Now I will tell you about the date. Main number of dates July 31st, 2023. For those born on this date, the main number is the number of that person's destiny. For the people who live this day, their destiny number cooperates with or opposes the main number of the day. Your destiny number is encoded in your birth date. It is determined by the sum of the numbers of the year, month, and day in which you were born. You cannot change it, it shows the direction you should follow, whether it is in your heart or not. Determines the conditions for performing the work for which you are suitable, the people you will meet, and the place designated for your development. Since the path cannot be changed, you must carefully choose the work for which it gives you the most favorable opportunities and attract to yourself harmonizing vibrations. Prime number 3 plus 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 18. 1 plus 8 is equal to 9. The base number is 9, formed by the sum of the digits 1 and 8. It symbolizes the vastness of the sea. This is the number of complete perfection. The 9 embraces all, as it contains within itself all the numbers from 1 to 9. It is the number of initiation into the sacrament, the path from death to rebirth, as it symbolizes the full circle. 360, 3 plus 6 plus 0 is equal to 9. 9 is the symbol of universal success and the greatest of all elementary numbers. It unites the traits of an entire group, making it a controlling factor if fully developed. As a triple number 3, the number 9 turns resilience into aspiration. The number 9 is the end of the 9-digit cycle. This is the harvest, rich or poor depending on how we have acted in the previous 9 days, months, or years. This is the time when we must finish everything that needs to be finished so that we do not enter the new cycle with unfinished things and unsettled relationships. 9 is privileged. Nothing stops him. There is always an advantage. It is surrounded on all sides by field, sky, sea, and infinity. This is the path to all success. This date is also the last of the month. That is, one 9-day cycle ends. And the month ends. Completing the cycle of learning and exploring the world and starting the cycle with the number 8 material development, it can be said that theoretical developments lead to practical action. One has to move. A difficult task. The year is also under the sign of 7. That is, the observation remains, but everything will be observed in a different way. This is after the cycle is complete. And until the completion of the cycle, work must be done. We move on to active action, brought about by the numbers 1 and 8. With the strength and fighting spirit of 1, let's go from 8 to 9. This may involve the loss of property or an opportunity. After this day, significant changes can be expected. As long as the completion of this cycle has taken place. On this day, the rule applies. Don't leave today's work for tomorrow. Finish the process and prepare for the next action. Seen from another point of view. You have walked through this cycle. In this case, 2 cycles. If there is strength for the next cycle, one must clean up after oneself and rest. The rest should be included in the completion of the process. Some people think that when there is other energy in the next process, it does not need a rest. But the body's readjustment from one activity to another becomes easier when the body is resting. There are 2 dates in the month, starting on the 3rd. For the initial 9 numbers, the first is 0, followed by 1, and then 2, and there are 2 dates left with 3 at the beginning. If we assume that 1 is the father, 2 is the mother, and 3 is the child, the one that becomes dominant in this month for 2 days. On the 31st, there is a transition between the father and the child. The strong father passes on his skills to the child. There is a lot of power and zest in this transition. Add these 2 numbers to make 4, and here the lack of certainty is evident. When the new energy makes its way through, everyone is stunned. 4 also means spiritual elevation, difficulties, construction, and physical fragility, which is characteristic of a new organism. Vital forces must be spared. Rest is necessary. There remains one day of the month with the number 7 as dominant. 7. Perfection. From his square in the basic triad above it, 3 and 4, man studies the completion and refinement of the great cosmic number 7 and notes its repetition in the 7 days of the week, the 7 colors, the 7 tones of the scale, and the 7 planets. He takes his first initiation and retires from the world of action. He discovered that the week is not the closing number in man's cycle and that his material duties are not yet finished. 7. Wisdom, solitude. Master the weapon of insightful analysis. Work on your spirit to become a good counselor or priest. Be alone, but not lonely. Engage with theories and principles, constantly expand your erudition with useful knowledge. Do not accumulate property and wealth, your material deprivation will be compensated with spiritual treasures. Rest, study, reflect, be more silent, and recognize yourself. Don't seek cooperation, don't be a leader. Learn to see the invisible. You will find your chance more in what you receive than in what you purposefully seek. Live in quiet places away from the hustle and bustle. The appeal of Path 7 is to individuals who need a clear theory of life. The element is water, deep and quiet. The transition is there. The difficulty is to move from a divinely calm observation of things to material activity. This transition is painful and stressful. The parent, who is 7, surrenders the child's powers and withdraws. This month, the show has been extended by 1 day. In some months, the cycle is shorter than 31 days. Child 8 will become the absolute master of events. The year in the date has 4 digits, 2, 0, 2, and 3, the 0 is only a hidden possibility. Or repeat the cycle. 2 enable cooperation, partnership, and tolerance. The ability to act softly, invisibly, perceptively, and passively. Sometimes it's good not to be the leader. The whole date shows that you have to wait patiently for your moment. Diplomacy, mutual respect, and support are needed. Man achieves his goals in cooperation with others. Sometimes it's good to support someone else. Success does not always lead to recognition. The number 3 means sustainability is symbolized by the triangle represented by past, present, and future. The number unites talent and cheerfulness and allows for adjustment. It is characterized by strength, aggressiveness, organization, determination, and the ability to work. There is a feeling of optimism and a good mood. Energy and time should not be wasted. It can be considered the child. In this case, it is a product of observation. The child as an unbiased observer. The observer must be clear about expectations, notions, and predictions. Such an automatic observer is the child. One of the conditions for revealing the laws of nature is to have no prior expectations. The person with preconceived expectations will seek confirmation of his own theories. Be clean like a child. Live in the moment, like a little child. Summary for the date July 29, 2023. For this date, the number 7 is repeated as the main corrective. Your product or goal may be to achieve knowledge. The world moves according to divine laws. These laws have been studied by humans since mankind has existed. You can learn from previous experience and build on it. The observation continues, but the object of the observation changes. Summary for the date July 31, 2023. Last finishing action of a monitoring process and at the same time of a 9-day cycle. Complex transition process. Cleaning, ending with old attitudes, and completing old processes. Success on this day is to achieve the liberation of processes from old habits. Accept the result and rest for a new process. If a lot of work has accumulated, the day can be quite dynamic. It may seem successful because a backlog of work needs to be done. There is pride and satisfaction in a job well done. Accept completion and detach. Ride on a worldwide learning process. Material results are pending. This was from me, Husa Mori.